Samsung has so many TVs to choose from, but not all of them are great values for your use case. Today, we're going to narrow down their massive selection for each use case. First, basic TV shows like news, sports, streaming YouTube for your parents. Second, first-time OLED TV buyers. You heard so much about it, you want to dip your toes into it. Third is bright room HDR watching. Your room is bright, you need a TV that can cut through the brightness and still preserve HDR impact. Gaming. What is the best TV for gamers? And what about the frame? Who's that TV for? It is a special use case we will talk about at the end. And no, we're not going to talk about 8K TVs in this video because it is overpriced for what it delivers, but some of the TVs I'm recommending are actually better. With that out of the way, let's jump into the best Samsung TV for you. Hey friends, want to upgrade to Windows 11 Pro but can't afford the official price of $199? How about $21 or Windows 10 for $16 with my discount code SF20? Thanks to our sponsor, Whokeys. Yes, Black Friday is here. Get an additional 30% off with my code SF20. Go to Whokeys.com, add Windows 11 Pro to your cart, apply my discount code SF20, and bam, only $21. Here's how we activate it. Go to your Whokeys account at the top right under User Center, click on My Purchased Orders, click on View Keys and Code, click Get the Key, copy the Windows 11 Pro key under Code Card, then go to your system settings, scroll down and click Activation, click Change Product Key, paste the key code, click Next, and you're done. So don't miss out on these amazing deals. Click on my links in the video description below. Now, as we go through these model recommendations, keep in mind that prices will be constantly changing, especially at the end of the year. So, if you choose any of these TVs and the price drops within 30 days of you buying it from either Best Buy or directly from Samsung.com, remember to reach out and ask for a price adjustment. Beginning with Samsung's basic TV. This is that entry-level TV where I think size is most important. So focus on size, right? The TV itself is definitely good enough for sports, old TV shows, news, YouTube streaming, right? We're talking the basics. People buying this TV aren't super critical about the minute details. The model I'm talking about is the DU7200. It ranges in size from 43-inch to 85 inches, but look at the 85-inch for under $900. Maximum impact in size and immersion for minimum dollars. But you're a critical viewer. You're saying, wait a minute, I've had LCD TVs all my life. What if I want to try something different? What is this OLED thing people talk about? Okay, so if you're a little bit more serious than the basic TV watcher, I suggest you look at the 77-inch S84D for $15.99, only at Best Buy. I know, Best Buy occasionally get these unique models that only they get, but $15.99 is an amazing price for this size. It only comes in one size, it's 77 inches, the S84D hits the spot for the first-time OLED TV buyer who wants to try and see, you know what? Is it that much better? This is the TV you get if you've never had an OLED TV, especially if your old LCD TV is a few years old, right? This OLED TV, boom, size, impact, 77-inch, and it's OLED. It's not the best OLED, it's not the fanciest OLED, but they all have the same thing in common. Infinite contrast, makes everything pop more, almost 3D, but be mindful, this is not the brightest among OLED TVs, so make sure you have a light-controlled room. If your room is super bright, well, you may want to consider the third use case, which is bright room watching. I'm talking about the Samsung QN90D. I know the QN85D is out there, but the price is so close. I don't see the value in saving $100 or $200 with the 85D, unless you're looking at the 85-inch Samsung QN85D. That 85-inch is so close to the QN90D and the price is so much lower, right? We're not talking about a few hundred, we're talking significantly less. So at the 85-inch size, the better value is the QN85D. At the other sizes, I say get the QN90D. The biggest differences are the QN90D has slightly better contrast, significantly brighter. It just feels like the image quality is worth that extra $200 on the QN90D, but they're close. And both of these TVs are great for bright room watching. And I know, critical viewers are asking me, wait, what about Dolby Vision? None of these Samsung TVs have Dolby Vision. All right, let's take a breath. First, basic TV watching, you don't need Dolby Vision. It does not make a difference if a TV has it or not. So let's move that out of the way. And as a matter of fact, if it's a basic TV, Dolby Vision makes it way too dark. I suggest basic TV watchers just watch an SDR. Okay, now we get to the higher performing TVs, right? The S85D OLED TVs from Samsung or the QN90D or QN85D. They also don't have Dolby Vision. It does not matter. I've compared the Dolby Vision version of the same content against HDR10, against HDR10 Plus. They all look the same at this level, right? At the flagship level, the TVs now are so good. Having Dolby Vision, at best, slightly different, but 99% of the time, indistinguishable. Do not worry about it. Least of all, Dolby Vision gaming. It is not a thing. But speaking of gaming, what are Samsung's best gaming TVs? Well, take a deep breath and laugh. All of these TVs are probably the best gaming TVs for their class. Samsung does a phenomenal job making their TVs appropriate for gaming. So let's say the QN90D among mini LEDs, that's the best. QN85D among mini LEDs at that price range, the best. And the best among all Samsung TVs are two: the Samsung S90D and the Samsung S95D. The S90D is the real value here, right? Because it has QD OLED, it gives you the maximum color luminance and HDR impact. It looks amazing. So why would you get the S95D? Two reasons. One, you want that anti-glare, right? You have glare, ambient light in your room, and it's a bit distracting. The S95D may work better for you, but beware, some people don't like the anti-glare, so keep that in mind. And the S95D is a bit more expensive because it has a One Connect box, right? That box is separate from the TV, so the input-output is in the box. It's convenient for some. I have the S95D. I love it. I think the One Connect box is great. But if you were to compare image quality, the S90D comes so close, it's not a big deal. So for me, I recommend starting with the S90D. Now keep in mind, QD OLED, both the S90D and S95D, only comes in three sizes right now: 55-inch, 65, and 77 inches. If you see an 83-inch S90D, that's not QD OLED, that's a W OLED. If you see a 48-inch, that's not QD OLED, that's also W OLED. Both of those OLED technologies are fine, but it doesn't have that extra brightness, impact, and color luminance of the 55, 65, and 77-inch S90D and S95D. But I have yet to mention probably the most popular Samsung premium TV. That's the frame. So I know a lot of people in the review community, they laugh at the frame, right? But let's put that aside. The reason reviewers don't like the frame is because they look at the frame as a TV first. No, the frame is an art installation first, TV second. For art displays, where you're doing digital images of art, right, has an amazing subscription where they rotate art from the great artists throughout history, right? Renaissance and Impressionism, it doesn't matter. Samsung has an amazing ecosystem of art that they will display on the frame. The frame has awesome anti-glare, so it looks like art in your room. Now, the caveat is this: it doesn't get super bright. It gets bright enough to display art. But when you're watching TV, that's when people complain. Oh, wait, this is not that bright. And then you try to get it brighter. What happens? Now it's too bright. The TV is not going to last. The frame is an edge-lit TV. So if you watch my video over here explaining the differences between edge-lit, direct-lit, OLED, mini LED, you will know that the edge-lit is the least reliable because it doesn't handle heat well. And a TV gets hot if you make it too bright. So if you get the frame and you're in a bright room and you watch sports in dynamic mode, that's a recipe for disaster with the frame. The frame is meant to be watched without dynamic mode on, right? Keep the brightness normal. If anything, keep it in eco mode. It looks great as art in eco mode. But again, remember, it is art installation first, TV second. If you're looking for a TV that is TV first, meaning it's all about watching TV 90% of the time, look at the TVs we talked about earlier, right? But if you're talking about a TV that you're going to display as art 90% of the time, and then 10% of the time, oh, you know what, I want to catch the news, a little YouTube, whatever, image quality isn't a big deal, fine, that TV works, just don't get it too bright. Now, am I missing a use case that you are looking for? I'm sure I am. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stop the FOMO.